Well, hello there, it's Beards and Bangers, and today we're back on the MG Rover stuff. We are back on the MG Rover stuff. I'm going to be talking mainly about Zeus, my Poseidon ZT 190 SE. So we're now mid-November. I think the first kind of proper cold weather of the autumn is going to descend upon us on Tuesday. So driving a lot of the cars around here is probably going to end for a few months because they'll be putting salt on the roads, and I don't really want salt near 3 monogram MG Rover cars that I've spent good money on and that I want to get looking nice. So yes, where are we at? So you know what I'm doing with the BMWs, selling both of those, combining that into one, so that's my daily. So it'll be a non-MG Rover daily, unless something else comes up, of course, which you know with me, I may well get something else. So what we've done is have a wander down into the unit. So first car you're seeing, notice it's quite empty in here now. So the first car you're seeing is Sam's Bitty. So Bitty's having some work done. I won't show you too much of that because we'll ask Sam if we can do a video on her at some point in the future. Biomorphic is now at the back of the unit, so away, obviously you know she was parked at the front. It's a bit hard to see back here, but I need to get some more lighting sorted out. Yeah, so Biomorphic will get some work done. We need to do an update on Bram at some point as well, because he, I hope, is going in for some body work. Under this cover is now Dylan, the Typhoon ZS 180. So undercover, we don't just cover the car up, so it's been washed, thoroughly dried, parked out in the sun, and then put away. Don't worry, the stuff, everything's on top of these cars is done carefully, so it's not going to damage anything. But yeah, so that's how we put a car away for the winter. So wash it, thoroughly dry it, leave it out in the sun for a bit just to really get the moisture out. If we get a nice day, what I'll do, as I've done with the Poseidon ZT, is to actually pull it out into the sun. So we'll do Poseidon today. Obviously in the yard here we're not going to get any salt because it's a private area, but we will drag each of these cars out at some point and get them in the sun just for a couple of hours. Even the winter sun does have enough strength in it just to keep everything kind of dry and get a bit of heat into everything, which is really, really important. And you're moving the car as well, starting the engine, you're moving the brakes, you're moving the handbrake. It's just a good idea, good practice to sort of move your car about, even if it is sort of dry stalled for the winter. You'll notice a conglomeration of seats here. So the main part of this video is talking about Poseidon. So we'll come back to these seats in a sec because they are relevant to the video. So Poseidon, I've just pulled him out of the unit just to get A, to make the video, B, just to get him in the sun. It's slightly sunny today, as you'll notice. We'll turn him off now because he's had enough running. I've got the heater on as well. So let's refresh our memory about this car. It is a 2004 or early 2005 MG ZT 190. So it's got the 2.5 litre KV6. It's in monogram Poseidon, which is a lovely colour. It sometimes looks green, sometimes looks blue. In the sunlight it's kind of purpley. So it can look different colours different times of day and in different lights. So in the unit it just looks green. So it's a really good flip in the paint. The bodywork's not 100%, but it's certainly not the worst car I've got. The great news is it doesn't need any attention to the bodywork anytime soon. So that's really good news. But yeah, good looking car. Wasn't expecting to get him, but I'm glad I did. He does need a wash. This one does need washing and covering, so I've got to acquire another car cover. But I'm going to be doing a series on this car. So this is the first video. It's like an introductory video to that series because we're going to be doing a bit of an interior refurb on Poseidon. So I'm going to talk you through what that's going to be right now. I'll talk to you about what the MG ZT 190 SE should have and what it hasn't got. So we shall start off inside. So what we're going to do, I'll do it probably a couple of weeks time, and it's a job we can do indoors. That's really good news. So the headlining it's not the worst headlining in the world, but it's sagged. So we'll start at top to bottom. SE car, it's got a sunroof, so that's good. Headline needs to come off, and what's wrong with this car is it's got a problem with its sunroof drains. So rather than water collating in the sunroof panel and then being directed down the A-pillars and out into the great wide world, those are blocked, so our rainwater is being directed mainly into the passenger footwell. So when I got this car, it was in AJF for a little while, once they'd finished it, they left him outside, and we've had a dry spell. It was the back end of the summer, and I got in, I was like, right, I'm going to move Poseidon up to the unit today. Got in him, and I was like, oh, there's a lake. So there was a lake in that footwell there, so got him all dried out. Actually took it, I've taken him to 2 shows since then. Luckily both of those were at dry, they were a dry weekend, so that was all right. So yeah, he's been to a couple of shows already, Nebworth and the Great British Car Journey. And then what we got here, so when the headlining's down, you need the headlining off to do this, because you need these pillar trims off, you need the headlining down. We've got a repair kit here, so we'll just move that CD. I better take that home actually. So we've got our headlining repair kit here from Discount MG Rover Spares. So we've got some kind of grommety bit there, and then we've got this almost like, I don't know, neck curtain holder kind of stuff. And we've got some instructions as well. So that's one of the jobs we'll be tackling. Yeah, so quick pause there just to put everything back in its place. Don't want to lose any of these bits. I'm just going to move that CD on top of the sunroof so I don't forget it. So this is an SE. So what should an SE ZT 190 have? Well, it should have electrically operated, heated memory seats. This has got very nice seats. Alcantara, the grey Alcantaras are very, very nice seats. They're just not going to be the seats that remain in this car. So someone will be getting, when I list them, a very nice set of grey Alcantara seats for a ZT, and they're in good condition actually. So normally the bolsters, for those of you who know MG Rover products of the early 2000s will know exactly what I'm talking about, but those of you who don't, this bolster normally gets worn. You can see it's going a bit, but it's by far the not the worst I've seen. So yeah, also the carpet, as you know, got soggy, so it does stink. So if we go back into the unit, we'll see one of the things that will get fitted pretty much immediately, because we can. So I'm actually getting a second set of these seats. So these are the correct seats for the car. So you can see here, hopefully you can see it, the unit's not the best light. These are heated electric memory seats. So these will be going in. So these are the 2 front seats, so driver's, passenger. We've got the backrest there, we've got the seat squabs there, we've got the seat base here on top of Dylan, the Typhoon. We've also got a pre-project drive shag pile carpet. So this has come out of Gusley, Austin's 190 that he broke. I think he has finished breaking it now. Just got the shelter shift at some point. So yeah, that carpet's going to go. So carpet and seats. So the carpet will make it a nicer place to be. The seats will obviously make it look as the car should look. So that's what I'm doing, is I want to make this car look exactly as it should. I want it to be factory. So factory, it would have had those seats. It wouldn't have had the pre-project drive carpet. It would have had this carpet, but that's fine. We're going to get that done just to make it a little bit nicer. Excuse my mess on the back seat. We've got some trim missing down there which needs to go back on, but yeah, that'll come out, and someone will get a decent set of Alcantara seats. I'm going to clamber in the car because for the next bit of the video we really need to know a little bit more about here. So dashboard's fine. That's got the dark oak or black oak, call it what you will, and that's exactly what it should have. This steering wheel is correct, even though this doesn't match. It's because this wood here, the dye in this wood does go. I'm actually going to leave it because that is what they should go like, and it's the effects of age. Not saying I'm never going to change it, but it's not, to me it's not irritating because it's what they do, these steering wheels, rightly or wrongly. So that's going to stay on there. Then if we move down, we've got this rather badly fitted Extron's unit. I was debating what to do. So obviously this car would have come with a Highline stereo with Harman Kardon speakers. I've got the Harman Kardon speakers. I've got the kind of the amp and subwoofer that goes in the back, which makes your boot smaller, but it looks all right. There's a couple of the tweeters there, just sitting there. So I'm going to actually go with Extrons because I found a unit that looks like the Highline but has got the modern functionality. So it's got DAB, it's got sat nav, you can put a SIM card in it, you can put memory cards in it. So it's got all the modern bells and whistles that you want. I can plug my phone into or connect my phone to it, so I can have Google Maps for the sat nav, which is what I'm used to, what I like. So it's not quite correct not having the Highline unit, but Highline is so far out of date. They look great and it was a great idea, but they were super annuated very quickly. So if you remember back to Diana, my ZTT, the black ZTT that I sold a few months ago, that had the Highline system. Really nice, sounds great. But you've got a TV that doesn't work because it's running on the old analog signal, so you can't pick up any channels now. I believe there are things you can do to change that, but I wasn't going to do that on that car. You've got DVD player, you've got all the things that were really cool at the time that now we just take for granted because we've got these touchscreen Apple CarPlay, Android CarPlay screen. So I'm going to put the Extrons in. That's at home. That's keeping it in the warm and dry. That will just fit straight in. You haven't got this bezel plate, this fascia plate. It literally will fill the whole space, and it will look better than something like this. I'd considered taking the unit out of Husley, the Sony, but it's got still the same panel that doesn't fit particularly well. And I just think an Extrons unit that's got all the things I want on it, looks like Highline, will sit really well there. Climate control's fine. I mean, it's typical MG Rover climate control. It's pretty poor, to be honest. Not tested the air conditioning. I think it probably does need regassing, or we'll have to look at that at some point. And then this panel here, so it's got, being an SE, it's got the desirable 5-button dash. So obviously these don't work because we haven't got heated seats in the car currently. So when the new seats go in, these will work, hopefully. We've got Traffic Master, which is actually redundant. So I can get rid of that and go down to a 4-button dash. I've got Cruise Control, which doesn't currently work. So first thing to do is to check the switch on the clutch, because it doesn't feel like there's any switching going on there at all. So we'll have a look at that at some point. When the car's stripped out, it'll be really easy to get underneath into that footwell and have a good look in there. So wait until the sort of seats and old carpets are out, put the new carpet back in so it's nice to kneel on, and then we'll have a look at this clutch. I think it's probably a switch on the brake to check as well. So Traffic Master is obviously well out of date, so that can go. So, but if you'll notice, the surround is actually not the correct pattern. So it's like a cheap, I think it's probably got a sticker on it. I think it's a sort of cheap imitation. So I'm going to need to get onto the usual people, usual suspects, usual Facebook groups, and see if we can find a 4 or 5 button surround for that. So the plate, because you can see the ashtray's got in the correct black oak, but this panel's not. Sorry, ashtray, cup holder. Ashtray's there, cup holder and cigarette lighter, and the blanking panel for the driver's cup holder. Yeah, so I'm going to need to find one of them. It's not a major thing, but if we're going to be doing some wiring, which I suspect we will with these, then it'd be nice to change it at the same time. So if I can get a 5-button, that'll just stay there, but just be a redundant button. But a 4-button surround will be fine if I can get hold of one. So that's that. Going back to the seats, actually, I forgot to say, I've got a second set of, I think I did allude to this, I've got a second set of seats. They're currently in Simon Jeffries from Smashing Pistons garage. I'm up there next weekend. Simon and I are going to have a day together filming, and just have a bit of a catch up. And I'll collect the seats as well. So we'll go and make use of the E91 while I still got it, and take that up there and chuck all the seats and stuff in the back of that. So that's good. And that's really where we are with this car so far. So interior carpet seats, headlining, got the fabric for that, sunroof drain. Am I missing something? Oh, parcel shelf. So obviously we've got the button here for a sunblind, but if I remind you, we haven't got a sunblind parcel shelf. So I think Austin, I don't know if it's in here, I have a quick, I can't see it, so I don't think it is, but Austin has acquired me very kindly a sunblind parcel shelf, which will go in the car. We'll pop the bonnet is actually already open. We'll have a little look under here. Familiar sights. I've definitely got, with having been, you know, sold Husley a few weeks ago, been driving the BMWs quite a lot recently. I've got sort of ZT withdrawal symptoms, that is for sure. So it is nice to open a bonnet and see that side. Obviously we've acquired Dylan, the ZS180, similar engine, but not quite the same layout. Battery cover I've got, that just needs to go on. That's at home, that's in a box, a big box of discount Engine Rover spare stuff actually that I need to get out at some point. But yeah, the one thing this car does need is a service, because it does not like starting. So it'll get a full service. I'm going to speak to, actually, the other lovely thing with this car is, this just shows you the power, the immense power of the car community, is that I know two of the previous owners of this car. So the car's got very little history. Or in fact, it's got no history really. You can't call what I've got a history. But because I know James and Simon, who are previous owners of this car, we can piece together the history. So, well, the one thing we need to find out, I do know this is not the original engine for the car. This was a good second-hand engine that I think Simon put in, but I need to find out when the belts were done. So I'm going to chat to those two lads as and when I see. I did see James last weekend at the NEC, but didn't really have a chance to catch up with him. But yeah, we'll try and find out where the belts are. And if the belts haven't been done, then that is a job for AJF. Because the last thing we want to do is to mash the heads of these, because they're not the easiest engine to find. It's not the easiest engine to find a decent one of, and you can rebuild them, despite what some people think. You can actually rebuild a KV6. Austin has done it on his grandfather's 75, and that, I tell you, that engine is sweet. So but I don't really want to get into, you know, this car can be sorted without spending a fortune. Yeah, I can be really fussy and start getting stuff like that sorted out, which I will in the future, but as MG Rover cars go, it's pretty okay. But yeah, but that's really great. You know, this is why we have this car community, because you can find out who's owned. You know, there's not that many of these cars. There's not that many ZT. Don't forget, they made 10 75s to every one ZT. So 75s are not a rare car. You know, try and get classic car insurance 75. It's quite difficult. But because these are a bit rarer and a bit more specialist, especially in the monogram colours, the Lancasters, the Footman Jameses, the Haggertys of this world will insure them. So yeah, that's where we're at with it. So yes, we'll do a KV6 service. I've not done a KV6 service on the channel yet, so we'll do all that. We'll do all the Forte flushes, put some good Mobil Super 3000 in it, which is the correct oil for one of these engines. And we'll try and find out, well, before we do that, we'll try and find out if the belts do need doing, because to do the belts, you've got to drop the oil and coolant out anyway. So there's no point doing all that and then changing the belts, because you're just doing 2 oil changes when you can just get away with 1. Just the smell of this engine that's been running is lovely. KV6s have got a certain smell. I don't know what it is. They just smell a certain way. Anything else that's needed to be done? The under tray needs to go on. That's in the back of the unit. The wheels, these are now on the correct Apex alloys. So these are the Shadow Chrome Apex that were on my ZT260, were on Husley. So I've actually sold the Apexes that I sold them back to Austin, basically. Or not sold them, we've done a barter, we've done a deal, because that's what we do. So it's now on the correct Apex alloys. It's on some very good tyres as well, Goodyear Eagle F1s. Underneath, can't see it, so the under tray needs to go on. The heat shield needs to go on as well, because when I drove back, so Great British Car Journey to here is about 110, 120 miles, and my bottom was getting hot, so much so that my boxer shorts melted and fused to my leg. So there's heat getting up into the sort of central transmission tunnel and into this seat somehow. So I think it's to do with the heat shield. So that'll need to do, but that's an AJF job, because it's got to obviously be up in the air. So under tray and heat shield will get done down at AJF. And then the other thing that's going to be done, I've got to do this really soon, is the exhaust. It's got the side box. Now side boxes are great, they get you out of a hole, they're cheap exhausts available on eBay and I think on their own side box website, but they don't look right. They're a bit droney, a bit resonaty, especially if you're sort of cruising at 50-60 miles an hour. You get a real thrum from the engine through the exhaust, and it's nice for about 10 seconds, and it gets on your nerves. So what I'm going to do with the exhaust, I'm actually going to use Rich's fabrication shop in Abingdon, Oxfordshire. And we'll get a nice slash cut twin exit exhaust, which is what it should have, but we'll go stainless steel. Obviously it should have a mild steel system. We'll go stainless steel because that will just look nice, but stainless steel will make it sound nice as well. And that's pretty much it. So if we get these done, so the target with this is to get everything done by April and take this car to Pride of Longbridge, hopefully, and Longships and Nottinghams, which is fast coming up as well. So yeah, that is the plan with this car. Just do this kind of interior restoration, couple of little other bits just to make it look good. So the exhaust isn't done, that's not the end of the world, but I would like to get the heat shield sorted out, and it just makes sense to do it at the same time. But yeah, I don't really want to have a hot bottom, because that was, yeah, my leg got burnt. Not badly, just enough to kind of melt the lycra in my boxer shorts. So that's probably far too much information. But yeah, we're back on with this car. Yeah, it's been a funny few weeks. I'm busy with work. Yeah, finishing off all sorts of car shows, NEC, German Car Day, BL Autumn Gathering. You know, and the weekends. You know, when you're busy all week and then your weekends are full of car shows, you don't really get a lot else done. But next job's get a space heater or a couple of space heaters for the unit, just so we can make it a bit nicer to work in, sort the lighting out as well, and then get on with the interior of this. I'll also be doing some work. We'll also do a little series on the ZS 180 as well, so we're going to do the clutch, the Sheddist clutch upgrade on that, so look out for a video on that really soon. But yeah, we're going to probably do a few videos on doing this, because it's a fair bit to do. Refresh your memories on how to do the saloon headlining. Not done one of them for a while. Obviously I've done the seats video before, but this is different because we've got memory, we've got electric, we've got heated, so that's going to be different. Carpet's new, so that's going to be something new on my YouTube channel certainly, and really, yeah, bring this car back to where it should be, an SE. So it should have the leather seats, the parcel shelf with the sun blind, Harman Kardon speakers, and a stereo that looks something like a Highline. Thank you for watching. If you don't already do so, please do subscribe down below, hit the bell notification so you get a notification on your device as to when I've uploaded a video. Drop a comment down below, give us a thumbs up, share with your friends, and I'll see you again very soon on the next episode of Beards and Bangers, possibly on this car, possibly something else. Goodbye.